0DTE options are becoming more and more popular amongst traders. Beginners, advanced, 0DTE options are a craze that is affecting everyone, not only in the stock market, but also with crypto options. But what are the risks? This is what we're going to be covering in today's video. So if you're not new here, you most likely saw the other video where we talked about the risks of selling options. We go for the risks specifically for selling naked or cash settled options. But we also have 0DTE folks, people who trade options that expired in less than 24 hours. We have some data regarding 0DTE options for the stock market, and that tends to walk in parallel with cryptocurrency. So whatever happens in stock markets, the data tends to be similar when we compare that to crypto options. Of course, with crypto options, we have way less volume, and I'm talking about way less because with stock options, some say that we have volumes of $1 trillion per day with the CBOE. So we don't have nearly that much. We have millions of dollars in volume per day with crypto options. So we're far away from billions and trillions of dollars that we have with stock options. That being said, out of these trillions of dollars, more than 40%, according to the CBOE, more than 40% of this is volume that comes from 0DTE, meaning it is a volume that is expired in less than 1 day. It is crazy to think that every day there's more than 40% of the total volume of options that expires and then goes back into the market. Goes out and then goes back into the market. And these numbers, even though not as big, not as large, they are proportional when we look at crypto options data. We have a lot of traders using 0DTE to make a lot of money really fast. Again, if you don't know what 0DTE options are and how they can literally change your portfolio from night to day, you can check out a video that we have here on the channel where we covered 0DTE options. Well, basically, they are so unpredictable that they can almost be binary. So you can either make a lot of money or lose it all. It is pretty much gambling galore. So now this should tell you a little bit about the risks, but we also have other risks as well. So let's start listing them one on one. The first one is the risk of losing all the capital. Of course, buying 0DTE options, you are losing the premium itself. You're losing the premium that you pay. So let's say you pay $100 to buy this call and that call expires tomorrow. So this is the risk that you have. You have the risk of losing $100. This is your maximum loss. On the other hand, the maximum profit is unlimited because the underlying asset itself has no cap on the upside. It can go from $200 to $1 million. Who knows? Back in 2021, we had the GME short squeeze, the AMC short squeeze, the meme stocks rally. So this happens, and a lot of people made a lot of money with 0DTE options or even short expiration options. So we're talking weeks or even days. And if you want to learn more about people becoming almost billionaire with that strategy, we have here a video about someone who did that with a GME stock, and now he's back into the scene. So if that's something interesting to you, check out the video about Keith Gill becoming almost a billionaire with options. But if you are selling 0DTE options, which again, weird, but okay, you do you. If you are in the stock market, you're risking to get a sign. So two things can happen. You can get a sign and you have to sell the asset that you have. So the underlying asset, you have to sell it because you got a sign. Or if you're selling puts, you have to buy the underlying asset, and that is just such a short time frame for you to risk that. Again, this is not worst case scenario, because if we compare that to selling naked calls or cash secured puts as we do in crypto, because they are cash settled, they are not crypto settled. So when you come to that, selling calls, it becomes almost stupid from you. I don't think there's any amount of yield that you can make to risk that amount of money, of losing that amount of money in collateral. Again, if you don't understand the difference between selling a call that is cash settled and selling a call that is underlying asset settled, so physical settled or crypto settled, check out our last video where we explain the risks of selling options. That being said, we also have a theoretical risk. This risk hasn't been proved, but there's still a lot of people who believe this could happen as it did once before. But again, when it happened before, the situations were kind of once in a lifetime. But we have what they call the Volmageddon, meaning an increase in volatility that is like a domino effect that makes one liquidation trigger another bigger liquidation that triggers a bigger liquidation, and that tumbles all the way to a huge multi-million liquidation that brings the markets down a lot. So of course, that is a once in a lifetime thing that happens because statistically, again, if you compare long and short positions from stock markets and even from crypto, you can see that most of the time they tend to balance it out. So the same amount of sellers is the same amount of buyers. And when there's a huge discrepancy, you can see that it will be affecting the premium and the volatility itself skewed on one side. A lot of people also said that this huge volume, 40% of all volume, is with 0DTE options. A lot of this could cause market manipulation, but again, we cannot see that. There is not enough data to prove that this is real, mainly because if you look at market making, so people that are market makers, the amount of volume that they create from 0DTE options is usually around 1 or even less than 1% on a daily basis. This is not enough to create any short squeeze or anything like that for whatever asset. Of course, because of the short squeeze, as we mentioned before, we can see that happen, but this is just when there's a huge amount of people that collaborate together to move huge amounts of capital on a very specific scenario. For GME, the short squeeze was only possible because the amount of institutions or the amount of portfolios that were shorting GME were so high that someone looked at that data and said, well, we can trigger a domino effect on this, but this cannot be done, for example, on SPY or any other index like it is the case for 0DTE options available on the stock market. The same goes for Bitcoin. There isn't enough volume from traders or from market makers to skew the price of Bitcoin or Ethereum to one side or the other. And again, the possibilities of a short squeeze for cryptocurrency, they happen because of centralized exchanges running out of actual coins to hold, or DTFs themselves running out of crypto to buy to hold inside their ETFs. So 0DTE options do not offer that risk for the underlying asset itself, as a lot of people think. Of course, there's always someone who has that apocalyptic vision of everything market related. So people thinking that we're getting near another 2008 crisis, people thinking that we're inside another bubble. There's always this talk. Usually these kind of talks, they're usually a lot of smoke but not enough fire. So I personally choose the side that thinks and that sees statistics that market makers don't have the ability to do so, and people cannot replicate GME again, or at least there's very tiny possibility of that happening for stocks. And for crypto options, we see that volume on options cannot do that for the underlying asset itself. That being said, how can you trade 0DTE options here on Bitopics? Well, you can go to bitopics.io. It's the first link in the description. So you register with that link, and once you get there, you're going to click right here on options and you choose between Bitcoin or Ethereum. You can see right here between one or the other. With Bitcoin, we can see Bitcoin is at 59,000. So it broke below the 60K again. I personally believe that is a bargain. I didn't even think we could see Bitcoin that low again. So if you want to do a 0DTE trade here, what you can do, you select Bitcoin, you can switch to Ethereum here. You choose the strike. So we're going for the 25th here. So tomorrow as the time of recording, but yesterday as the time you should be seeing this. The strike itself here, you can switch. Right now we are on the 59. We can go a little bit in the money. So go for 59. You see the break even is above 60K. Do you believe Bitcoin will get back to the 60K? Maybe yes. So here we can go for 8.1. So you can see I will be paying $125.47. So what happens is if by tomorrow Bitcoin is above the 60,254, I will be making money. So I'll be profitable. If it is below the break even, I will be losing money. If it is below the strike itself, the 59,000, I will lose all the capital that I deposited. So all the premium, which is $125. If I'm okay with this, I click right here and I click yes, and I open my position. You can see that right here at the bottom. Same thing goes for Ethereum. Ethereum is down 5%. Do you think it will go down even more or it will correct? Well, I think it will correct. So we go right here and we go right now for 3,100. I just went a little bit in the money, so the break even is a little bit lower. So 33.30 Ethereum could be tomorrow back again because it pushed down so much that it could try to get back inside, especially if you use indicators like Bollinger Bands. You can see that it broke a little bit through the Bollinger Band. So it should try to stay inside again. So this could be good for us. We put right here 0.1 again, and that will cost us 23 bucks. Let's even go 0.5, $100. We click right here, open position. Yes. And here we have both of our positions for Ethereum and for Bitcoin that expire tomorrow. So this is how you can trade 0DTE options on Bitopics. You can do that for calls and for puts. So far, you cannot sell 0DTE. You cannot sell any options on Bitopics. You can do something that is similar to selling options with the Earn tab, which is pretty much spreads. So you can see we have spreads right here. They pretty much require less capital for you to make more money, but they also have cap on maximum profit. So they have a cap on maximum loss, but they also have a cap on maximum profit, but you need way less capital to open a position than you would do with just naked options. And if you're feeling a little bit frisky, you can go to copy trading, and now we have a 0 DTE copy trading strategy. You can see right here, it is performing very, very well, 155% projected return on investment per year. So you can see a lot of people are getting into this. You can see on the other videos that we had only 10 people we were testing. The amount of money was a little bit low, and there's new people getting into the strategy itself. You can see I put a little bit of money just to try it out itself, and it is doing very, very good. This is just one of our traders doing 0 DTE options, and you're pretty much copy trading this strategy. So if you don't want to do it, you can use the copy trading strategy itself. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. And I'll catch you guys on Friday for the last video of the week. Again, thank you so much. Peace.